Hey guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I just wanted to share some notes that I take on life, basically. So I've been trying to figure out what it means to be me, and I've read that you're not your body and you're not your mind. And so after reading a lot about what I am and what I'm not, I came across the question, how is my mind not me? That dwelled within my head for a while because I didn't understand. So how is it possible that my personal and secret thoughts don't make me who I am? And I quickly understood what it meant to not be my body, not to be what I wear, not to be what I have and what I don't have. And after thinking and meditating, I realized that it's because I can physically see those things. I can physically see this shirt. I can physically see my hair and my face. That's not within me. So how can it be who I am? It's not who I am, right? Therefore, bringing up the dilemma of not being able to see my mind physically. My mind is within me, so how could it not be me? If the mind is a heap of words that you are given by an external force, whatever, it simply means that you came up with the way of seeing the things as a reaction to make sense of the sounds and words that you're hearing. But they're nothing more than sounds and words, honestly, that you're accumulating, that you are making the meaning to. You choose whether to give those sounds or words meaning. If you listen to somebody talk to you in a different language, it's just sounds, it's just words, because you have no idea what they're saying. But you can still choose to make meaning out of those words, whether it's correct or not. So if you give meaning to your mind, is your meaning really you? Think about that. You're giving meaning to your mind. So it's a gathering. Your mind's a gathering. You're gathering that meaning that you made. Therefore, is your mind really you if you are giving it meaning? What you gather can be yours, yeah, but it can't be you. Your mind is unique because it is yours and can only belong to you. And that's what makes it a beautiful, wonderful, powerful thing. Someone can have a big, beautiful home, it's theirs, yes, but it's not who they are, because one day they could sell it and it's not even theirs anymore. If you can sell something and make it belong to someone else, it's not you. Just like you can sell an idea. You've accumulated that idea for whatever reason. If you sell that idea, it's no longer yours, even though you came up with it. But however you came up with it, meaning that you and the way you think, the way you experienced your thoughts to create that idea, that's who you are. But everyone has, their own thought process, and you can try to teach someone to think like you, but everyone has their own purpose. Everyone has who they are, whether they know exactly what that means or not. And while you're trying to teach someone to think like you, I can almost guarantee that they will gather their own perspective and outlook on what you're teaching them, because they'll be experiencing it. They'll be experiencing your sounds and your words differently than you did. And we must learn what we are not in order to be left with what we are. We must be aware that we can't follow someone's every step, because all we have is our own path. Someone got to where they are doesn't mean you can get there exactly in the same way they did, because they have a reason for why they did and how they did it. Their process, their experience is not yours. It's never going to be yours. And I can assure you that if one day you decide you've made it because you've copied what someone else did, how they did, and why they did it, you can only feel the satisfaction of having reached that goal, not yours. So that satisfaction, of course, it's only going to be temporary. And it's going to be deceiving until you consciously become aware of what it is you and your purpose is. It's not going to be satisfying for very long. Until you feed and teach until then, you'll feed and teach all the wrong things to yourself and to those around you. And that's gonna suck. Not just for you, but for those people around you. I mean, if you have an unpleasant environment around you, or a deceiving and lying environment around you, you're never going to know the truth about yourself. You're never going to help anybody else either. Another way to know that your mind isn't you is to be aware of the way we're taught to think. And to be aware that if you're being taught or persuaded to think a certain way, it's not you. Obviously. We are taught to live by the 5 sense organs, but these only give you a comparative perspective on things. It limits your way of thinking. It helps you see and survive, but only to your current situation, meaning you let what is around you determine how you see and live life. The same way you let society determine who, what, and how you are due to what you have or what you don't. And we've already discussed that we're not what we have and we're not what we don't have. Yet we still believe what society says. Say you're a 6-foot man with a Ferrari, right? You walk and talk like a wealthy, tall man. You think like a wealthy, tall man. You feel like a wealthy, tall man. So you are a tall, wealthy man. Now, you move to a society where people are 8 feet tall, have several houses, and multiple Ferraris. Suddenly you feel like a short, poor man. You walk like a short, poor man. You talk like a short, poor man. And you are a short, poor man. Did something change? No. Your surroundings changed. And the way you saw yourself changed. Because what you have didn't go away. It's still what you have. So what you know is only useful in your current situation. But if you think beyond that situation, expand your mind, expand your love, you may soon begin to question yourself and your purpose, because you will then be aware of who you're not. And yes, it's scary not to know. So hold on to the things that you do know. Let go of the things you think you know, and learn to not fear what you don't know. Keeping in mind that in doing so, it'll allow you to have the opportunity of learning the truth. If you don't know something, you don't know it. But you knowing that you don't know it gives you the opportunity to learn what you don't know. But if you just act like you know when you don't actually know, you're just pretending you know, you're not gonna have that opportunity to actually know. You gotta take the time to observe yourself, to observe the size and movement of your surroundings, and to be aware that those can change in an instant, so to not be afraid when they do. You know, you put a blindfold on, and if you walk through life like crazy confident, ignorantly confident, that you know what you're doing, you're gonna bump into everyone and everything. But if you take the time to know your surroundings, to familiarize yourself, to know who you are and how your surroundings affect you, you know, once you have that blindfold on, you know pretty much which way to go. Steady, but you know you're not going to get hurt. You know you're not going to bump into anybody. Because when you do have that ignorant arrogance, you're going to hurt yourself and others in the process. So you can either be blindfolded and see with clarity, or you could be blindfolded and confidently confused as to where it is or why you're bumping into everyone and everything. All this being said and learned, I've come to conclude that what I know, and what I don't know, I don't know. And what I don't know, I shouldn't speak about because it's not in my experience yet. My experience is mine and only mine, as my mind is, but my mind is not me. My thought process and how I experience that process and that gathering of words and sounds and how I react to it, that's fundamentally me. And all of that being said, I started this journey a while back when I first found out about healing stones. I've always have been into the craft. I've always thought that, you know, it's really intriguing. It's really, it triggers something within me. I've always believed in magic since I was little. I've always thought, you know, I'm meant for something more, and I've never known what, because I kind of suck at everything. But, you know, I'm not a sucky person. I'm not an untalented person. I'm just finding my way. And I first learned about stones, and I bought some stones. I bought some healing stones. And what's it called? I got these healing stones. And they each have, you know, their own properties and everything. And I would carry them around, and I didn't really feel a difference. I really didn't. So I learned a little bit more about them in depth, and I learned about energies, why they have their energies, how they get their energies. And, you know, I've always been drawn to the energy of the moon, and I left my stones. These are my stones. I left them out in the moonlight one night on a full moon, and then the next day I brought them in, put them by my bedside, and I grabbed one quickly. This is the one that I grabbed, and it's Unikite. It's for self-awareness, self-love, and I took it with me, and I had it all day, and I remember feeling so amazing, so positive, so, I don't know, self-aware. I felt good about who I was, and that's not common for me. Anybody who knows me knows that I have a terrible past of insecurities, of mental illness, but then at the end of the day, I saw that one of my stones was missing, and I was like, oh my gosh, I had this stone with me the entire time. And I was like, wow, I felt this energy. I definitely felt it. There was no question, no doubt that I felt the energy. I put the stone back where it belonged on my headdresser, and I kid you not, for a whole week that week, I was having constant, vivid dreams. And my dreams have always been super random and super weird, but these were like storyline, you know, beginning, middle, end dreams that I kept having all week, every night. And I kept charging my stones, and I started learning more about them. and I started meditating with them, and with one in one hand and one in the other, and I, experimented with that a little, and I came to learn that my meditation was at its like all-time focus when I held obsidian and clear quartz, one in each hand. When I meditate with these, I feel an energy, a balance of energy within me that is ridiculous. And I'm gonna keep learning about this stuff, and I'm gonna keep giving y'all insight on what I feel and what I think and what I learn. And my goal is to reach the average person, because everyone's goal is to get the attention of somebody big, somebody famous, somebody who is somebody, someone who's unique, someone who's, I don't know, whatever you might think about someone who's higher than you are. I don't want to reach those people. I want to reach a person who believes that they're average. There's more average people than there are famous people, than there are well-known people. The average people are the people who make those people who they are. So I don't feel average to myself. I feel great. I feel amazing. I feel like I have a higher self, that I'm going to get in tune with that higher self. And I don't feel average. And I don't think anybody should. So that's my purpose in making these videos. I'm going to continue to make them, and hopefully y'all enjoy this video and apply it to yourselves. And I'm sorry that it kind of sounded like rambling, because I'm not used to making videos. I'm not used to giving insight on my thought process, but I think that it's about time that I do, because I know that there's a lot of people that struggle with a lot of things, and they believe that it's because of outside forces, when really it's all internal. It's all you. Your work, you're doing you. Nobody else. You cannot blame anything on anybody else. And I can talk a little more about that in another video. So for now, bye-bye.